Hi, friends. Love you guys so much. We just had a wonderful lunch. We had some fruits and vegetables and some delicious protein. And before we got too full, we made sure we saved a little bit of room so that we could enjoy some very special treats together. I'm sure most of you know that it would not be healthy for our bodies if we just ate treats all the time. In fact, our bodies just wouldn't work right at all and we would become sick. But treats are very fun to have on special occasions and with special friends and family. People oftentimes have birthday cakes or pies and special rolls like cinnamon rolls and delicious goodies that are very special, especially when they're made by somebody that we love. We have so many people in our family who do a wonderful job of making these kinds of treats. So you'll see in front of Kenzie and Edie, they've got cupcakes. Do you know who loves cupcakes and who loves to make cupcakes? Aunt Andrea does. Yes, she does. And she makes all kinds of other desserts and does an amazing job. You know who else does the same thing? Aunt Mare or Mommy. Yeah, they make wonderful, delicious, special treats, and they not only taste good, but they look beautiful too. Do you see all these things? These pies, we've got some donuts here. So, Aunt Stephanie's grandma and grandpa, so it would be Kenzie and Samuel's grandma and grandpa too, and I think Kenzie, they're called Grammy and Grampy, maybe. They used to own a donut shop, and it's actually kind of a famous donut shop in Colorado. It's the Donut Mill up in Woodland Park, and everybody used to go up there occasionally, especially if they were going to see the trees turn colors for fall or they were going to enjoy a beautiful spring picnic. They would stop at the donut mill and they would choose a delicious donut to take with them. And they don't own that shop anymore. And so sometimes Uncle Levi will make Aunt Stephanie donuts, and she really likes that. It's a special treat, and it reminds her of when she was little. There are so many other people in the family. Oh my goodness. My nanny, who is my dad's mom, so she would be your great great grandma for some of you, she is still alive. And she's in her 90s, so she's very old. And she used to make the most amazing food. Oh my goodness. Nona, when she was a little girl, she would eat and eat and eat and enjoy. Oh my goodness. Nanny and Grandma Harrison used to make the most amazing Thanksgiving dinners, and then they would make special treats to serve afterwards. Nanny has so many recipes that Nona still uses, and many other people in the family do too. She had a very famous pie that might not sound very good, but it was called buttermilk pie. And she would make that, and oh, it tasted like a sugar cookie had melted inside of it. To this day, it's Great Uncle Mark's favorite dessert. Absolutely loves it. And Pops and everyone else I know loves it too. Delicious. Granner Peg, so this would be Pops's mom's mom. So she's no longer alive, like many of our great grandmas and grandpas, but she was an amazing baker as well. And she would do really, really hard treats, things that took a very long time to make, like baklava. So baklava sometimes has like 120 layers of very thin pastry with honey in between. And then she would make croissants And those take hours and hours to knead in the butter just right. And again, get all the layers inside. Oh my goodness, she would work and work and work with her pretty apron on. And Pops remembers how beautiful she would sing, and she would roll out the dough, and there would be flour on the table and flour on the floor. And then, as soon as she got done, she would quickly tidy everything up, and she would serve a beautiful dinner and some treats for afterwards. So we have many, many people in our family who do a wonderful job with cooking and with making special treats. We've got to mention even that Grammy, when Grandpa used to own restaurants, and he's an amazing cook, and Grammy would make special pies and special cakes. She was even a cake decorator, and she would make cinnamon rolls, and then she would sell them to restaurants. So she was really an amazing baker, and her stuff was so tasty that even restaurants wanted to buy it. And I'm sure that's the way many of our aunts and uncles make food too. It would be good enough to sell at a restaurant. I've got some really special little tiny things here, and I'm gonna try. I don't know if it'll work, but they're so tiny. And what makes them special is that Grammy, my mama, knew that I was doing the mouse house. And so for Christmas this year, she got me a little tiny thing of applets and cotlets and a little tiny thing of chocolate covered cherries. And they're so small that I thought maybe we would try and see if we could see them through a big magnifying glass. So we're gonna try it. It may not work, but we'll try it. So I don't know if you can see the chocolate covered cherries and the applets and cotlets. Here's what's special about those. So Granner Peg, the one I told you who would spend hours and hours kneading dough, she used to make applets and cotlets for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'm gonna think of a way to describe them to you. It's kind of like an apple or an apricot gummy rolled in powdered sugar. Not quite as chewy. And people pretty much just stopped making them because they were hard to make, and now they just sell them. And so sometimes Nona can find them, and I give them to Pops as a special Christmas gift, and it reminds him of his grandma. The chocolate covered cherries remind me of my grandpa, my mom's dad, Grandpa Harrison, and he loved chocolate covered cherries. And each year on his birthday, his kids would buy him chocolate covered cherries, and he enjoyed those very much. And those are just like what they sound. They're a cherry in the center of chocolate. And maybe if you haven't had one before, you could ask if you could have one as a special treat. Oftentimes they sell them around Valentine's Day. So that's already passed this year, but maybe next year or at another time. Sometimes they sell them during Christmas. But those are fun treats to enjoy. And so we're going to read a story about a little bear who does not want to eat his dinner. What are they going to do? So this is from the Candlewick Book of Bear Stories, just like we've been reading through. And this one is called Eat Your Dinner. And it's by Virginia Miller. George came looking for Bartholomew with his dinner. "Dinner's ready, Ba," he said. "Have you washed your face and hands?" "Nah," said Bartholomew. That's silly. George said, "Sit up, Ba, and eat your dinner." "Nah, nah, nah, nah," said Bartholomew. "Eat your dinner," George said in a big voice. Bartholomew ate one spoonful, and then he had a little rest. George sat down at the table and he began to eat his dinner. Bartholomew watched until George had finished. And then George left the table and he returned with a large honey cake. He cut a slice and ate it. And when he finished, he took the rest away. Suddenly, Bartholomew thought, "Eat your dinner." He thought of the honey cake with the pretty pink icing and the cherry on top, and he licked his bowl perfectly clean. He went to find George. "You finished, Ba?" George said. "Nah," said Bartholomew. George smiled, and he gave him the slice of cake with the cherry on top. Oh, that was very nice. So that's the end of our story. Thanks for sharing that with us. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.